In life, there is always the age-old question, what if? Nowhere is that more prevalent than in the world of professional wrestling. And now, the what ifs arrive here. Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated presents the Fantasy Booking Series.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Booking Series. This is take 2, and we probably should have looked up the episode when we finished take 1.
Oh well,
we're idiots. So
you know what?
This is probably worse than take.
It's in the description. There you go, or the title, whatever the fuck. Oh, there you go.
You see, typically when you do takes, you try to make the takes better than the first one. This is probably worse than take 1.
Oh, well. Actually, no. Take 1 was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But we're all set.
This is But yeah, I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with
James the He-Man Hebert. I'm the weird Donnie here on the channel again.
And this is part 3.
Back again. Hebert's back.
I feel like they should be. I feel like they should be sitting that for me though, because I haven't been on in a long time.
You've been out for a bit.
Yeah.
Boy, do
things
just keep changing anyway.
Yeah.
When you're not here, because I boycotted the E.
Yeah.
and
I was starting to do well getting caught up, and then I saw the debut of Raw Underground and got confused and boycotted for a bit. So.
Bro, honestly, just don't boycott for a bit. Boycott completely, because when you see what they're doing with you probably already have seen what they're doing with the fucking guys, the actual people over there. It's fucked up.
I think I finally saw the debut of the Retribution faction. I don't know if it's them, but they lit the production truck on fire, whatever it was.
That's them.
It was so dumb. It was just so dumb. But that's not what we're here to talk about right now. So,
I would just stop, dude. Honestly, I've been telling you this now. You got here. You shouldn't have even gotten this far. Just stop watching. Stop trying to get caught up. If you're going to watch the garbage, just start from now. You'll save yourself so much of a fucking headache, bro.
Anyhow, let's just start this video. So,
yep.
Let's talk about the booking. Yeah, we're doing part 3 of me and James as a tag team. If you forgot, part 2 left off with Survivor Series 2013. It was Team Brian versus Team Authority, where the Authority got kicked out of power and Sting
debuted. We were in that match. Hi.
Yep. And yeah, so the Authority's out of power now. William Regal's the GM of Raw, and Teddy Long's the GM of SmackDown. So
holla player.
That's basic.
Wait, am I gonna have a match with the Undertaker?
That's later. I'll explain that when we get there.
I see.
But anyhow, that's not in our tag team one. That wouldn't make sense. But
no. Unless we fought the Weapons of Destruction.
But I'm excited for this part. Well, these next 2 parts, because this is the end of me and James's run as a tag team. I said it right this time.
Yay.
And yeah.
Also sad.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but I've been looking forward to sharing these parts because this is when things start to get personal and stuff. So let's go through this part. So let's make sure you're actually on here now. You're still not on the docs. This is take 2, James.
Shit.
Should have been.
That's right, docs. I forgot that. Actually, I can't go on the docs here. I have to go on them via phone. Well, we could just cut this part anyway. While I get them up.
Oh, this is why it's a good thing we're doing it this way. because I want you to read the. I feel like I should start to have you read the tag teams and champions. Because I feel like that.
Yeah, because I had to do that because it was easier.
Yeah.
Because then we just fired through the shit.
Yep.
Alright, I'm getting my laptop open because I can't use my desktop now that I'm using my screen recorder. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. That's the game. I am waiting for my laptop to load.
It's a good thing we're cutting this part.
I hate technology. I should just leave that part in at least. I hate technology.
You should have like a.
Yo, hold on, wait, hold on. Let me do an edit real quick of PTSD flashback. All right, give me a second.
Hold on. Oh, okay, I'm at 5904, so I'll press play when you tell me to.
All right, hold on. Oh, fuck off with the pop-up ads! Fuck off!
Oh my god.
Loser! Get the fuck away from my fucking computer! Holy shit! Suplex City people find fucking annoying. How about fucking pop-up ad city? Fuck! What is $8.5 billion worth to you guys, huh? Because that is the net worth of the mobile app known as Skype, which we have been struggling to get to work for an hour straight. Yep. Fuck you lot.
So you should leave this in now.
It's not popping up for anybody.
Oh my gosh.
This is fucking... Yeah, I'm about ready to fucking quit tonight. All the here's our hologram for the entire evening. Since the show's probably going to be very good. Oh, yes, like piece of shit. The freaking shit. Wow. Why did it pause?
I hate that.
I have to fucking refresh, I guess. This is actually the fucking most cancerous thing I've ever used in my life. When it comes to the YouTube part of it. Fucking hey! Getting ready to cast? What do you mean getting ready to cast? What the fuck? God. Yo, I'm actually about to lose my mind. I cannot get this to fucking work.
Nobody's sharing. Wait for the video to start.
What the fuck?
Permission.
Pop-up ads.
Yep.
Pop-up ads.
Now you gotta leave this in.
Google
now you gotta
Hangout. Skype. Oh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, now out of those technical difficulties, we are back with the rankings, and we got the tag team rankings.
Just the tag teams, not the rankings.
Well, the rankings of the tag team. That thing, yeah. Babylon Fright, we're the champions. Hi. Primo and Epico, Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger, the Usos, Hunico Camacho, International Airstrike, Dude Busters, Kurt Hawkins, Tyler Rex, Vladimir Kozlov, Ezekiel Jackson, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, Bad Influence, The Brotherhood, Heath Slater, and Jinder Mahal and Motor City.
Yeah, who are still injured at this time because of that Ultimate X match, so they're not back yet.
Which is fine.
And then read the champions after Survivor Series.
Champions after Survivor Series are Brock Lesnar as the WWE Champ, World Heavyweight Champ is Dean Ambrose, IC Champ Wade Barrett, US Champ Dean Ambrose, Tag Team Champs Babylon Flight, hi.
Yep.
Divas Champ Charlotte Flair, Internet Champ Ted DiBiase Jr., and X Division Champ Jack Styles.
Alright, now it's finally time for the booking. Let's talk about the booking. So after Survivor Series, the next night, we come out and we're celebrating the fact that the Authority is gone. So I'll give you some improv. What's going to happen is we come out, we're just happy. I'm a bit hungover because I did too much celebrating, because that's really what would happen. We all went out and celebrated.
I was his designated driver.
Yep. We come out with beers, and we're just happy the authorities gone. And
we bring out the whole locker room, Daniel Bryan, the whole shebang. Give him a giant toast.
Yep. And then they'll go backstage, and then I say, you know, James, I know you're straight edge and you don't drink, but this is an occasion where you have to drink.
And I'm like, well,
because
I can't drink my Diet Dew.
And I'm like, no, the authority's gone. You got to drink this. So I'll hand you the drink, and you'll act like you're going to drink it, but when I turn around, you just spit it out or something, so I don't even know you did that. So, then it gets... And then MVP makes his return to WWE after... So he was gone in 2010. This would be 2014, so after 4 years. And says... and he would have his new song, not the Hurt Business song, because I think that's trash. The one that he has now, because I think that's much better. I mean, obviously, the different tastes in music. Maybe people like the Hurt Business song. I'm not that guy. I think it's trash. So
what? Which one? Are we talking about the shitty faction one? Or are we talking about like We Ballin'?
We Ballin', that's the one he's gonna have. So
yeah, because that's better. That should have been it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't just make that the faction's theme. But
MVP will come out, says he's glad to be back and stuff, and he says that he's left the in-win part of his career behind him, and is now a sports agent. Because I didn't want to say manager. It's sports agent sounds like something he would say. And he's found the next big tag team in WWE that's going to take the tag team titles from us. And Kenny Ken hits me in the back of the head with Insuguri and sets him over. It's going to hurt more than it actually would. So I'm basically done for a while. And this causes James to brawl with Kenny Ken, and from out of nowhere, Shelton Benjamin comes up and hits a pay dirt on James. And then Kenny Ken hits me with a royal flush, and Team MVP stands tall. I originally had Bobby Lashley booked for this, but James, wanted to do Shelton Benjamin. It actually makes more sense because this would be a pretty underwhelming way to bring back Lashley. Yeah. So what's going to happen is instead Bobby Lashley will come back at the Rumble.
Because that would make more sense anyway, especially if you're trying to build this faction up. You want to spread it out in the course of a few months, not just all of a sudden everybody's in this faction.
And every group makes sense, obviously, since it would, in this universe, it'd be fresh, because the Beatdown Clan wouldn't have ever been a thing. But, Kenny Ken, he's good on the mic, but I think he never really cut promos that really grabbed me, so MVP can take care of that, and obviously Shelton Benjamin the same thing. So,
by the way, real quick, before we continue with that, a little bit of a breaking news update, even though by this point it will probably be released months down the line. Your boy, the man behind you, The Undertaker, was on Hot Ones, the Spicy Wings show. You gotta watch that. I'm watching.
I'll watch it.
I'm watching that. Right after this, that's the first thing I'm doing as I'm waiting for fucking videos to render, is watching that. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
That's awesome. All right, so then on the November 29th episode of SmackDown, Team MVP is backstage, and MVP puts over his new group, which he's now going to call the Hurt Business. I want to do that thing where he's saying that this guy's an executive and this guy's an executive. I think that's a bit crap, but I would have them just talk about it, because
By the way, everybody was like, you know what? Here's my question for you: which is more cringy, the Hurt Business or the Beatdown Clan? I still haven't decided yet.
I think the Hurt. Obviously, I've decided, as you can tell. So
the Hurt Business is less cringy.
Yeah. And they talk about how MVP talks about how they're the hungriest and most athletic wrestlers he's ever seen, and together they make a better team. And then they squash the Dude Busters in a match. Afterwards, we come out and talk about how we studied Kid and Benjamin singles careers and have been impressed, but they do not have the experience as a team like us, and we charge the win, but they escape. Is there anything you want to improv there? Is that kind of say it all right there? So
it pretty much says it all right there. I mean, I'd basically just be like, hey, love how you attacked my buddy from behind. How about you try to do that to our faces next time? Because you ain't going to be able to do it again.
And 100% too, because I technically wasn't 100% in that segment. So
you real manly men. Hurt Business. More like cowards. I don't know, something like that.
Then on the December 2nd,
Fucking
2013.
heathens!
Then on this December 2nd, 2013 episode of Raw, MVP is backstage and demands Benjamin and King get a tag team title match. But William Regal says, I can't do an English accent. But he says, no, you have to earn things around here. So he makes a fatal 4-way tag team match. It's Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King with MVP versus the Usos versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger versus International Airstrike with us on commentary. Benjamin and King win when Benjamin hits the pay dirt on Jey Uso for the win. And the match is made for Armageddon. I got rid of TLC and brought back Armageddon because I think that's a better pay-per-view. That's one thing that's coming from this book is the stipulation pay-per-views are going to slowly start to go away.
Please.
So,
for the love of God, they need to just die a death.
Then on SmackDown, which would be the December 6th, 2013 episode, MVP hosts a VIP lounge and talks about how we've been a top tag team, and by we he means us, not them. Ever since we've come to WWE, but we've never faced anyone with the skills and quickness of Kenny King and the experience of Shelton Benjamin. We come out and we agree with MVP, but yet they choose to listen to someone who has been inactive in the wrestling business for years, had a 1-year losing streak, and walked out of WWE when things weren't going his way. It leads to a brawl, but since it's 3-on-1, the Hurt Business gets the upper hand. Yeah, I feel like there's nothing you really need to add to that because that sounds like exactly something that you like. I feel like that would be your line right there. That's exactly what you would say.
That would be the money line. It'd be like, I love how you say this, but you kind of left in the midst of a losing streak, and when shit wasn't going your way, you took your ball and you went over to Tokyo and got yourself an Intercontinental Championship. Congratulations. Guess what? You're in the big leagues now again, bitch, and I'm the top dog of this division. And
we are.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We're the top dog of this division. You took my buddy out. Dickhead.
Yep.
I can't say dickhead. It's PG, but you get my point.
Then on the go home show, which would be on the December 9th, 2013 episode of Raw, there's a 6-man tag team match where it's Shelton Benjamin, Kenny King, and Randy Orton with MVP versus CM Punk and us. Mm-hmm. And CM Punk hits a GTS on Kenny King to get the win because CM Punk's building momentum for a fatal 4-way match that involves Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan to face Brock Lesnar, so he needs some momentum. So there you go. Do you think I should have Benjamin eat the fall instead of Kenny King, or do you think Kenny King is fine?
Since Kenny King's the newer star, having Benjamin take the loss would probably hurt him less.
There you go.
So make it Benjamin.
Then on the go-home episode of SmackDown, there's 2 tag team matches. Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King versus International Airstrike. Benjamin and King win when Kenny King hits the Royal Flush for the win. This would be a banger of a match. Yeah. And then later we defeat Primo and Epico with MVP on commentary. Afterwards, Benjamin and King come out, but MVP wants to save it for the pay-per-view. So that's what happens. Then out Armageddon, in a really competitive match, we retain the tag team titles with a finish, which, if you remember, is the Damnation Bomb into the Blue Jay Splash. So there you go. It's not the best feud ever, but, December pay-per-views are kind of like a bit of a low period. But let's be real, I put more effort into booking this feud than WWE probably would have in real life.
Yeah,
so.
That would have been like, Kenny King. It's only Jerry the King, pal.
Yeah. So then the next night on Raw, we talk with William Regal, and there's going to be a tag team tournament to determine the next number 1 contenders for the World Tag Team Championships. All the teams will be in a battle royal to determine seeding, and the winners skip the first round, and the battle royal consists of, and James, I'll let you read this part because you can get through it quick.
The battle royal will consist of the following: Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King, the Brotherhood, Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, the Usos, Bad Influence, Primo and Epico, Hunico and Camacho, International Airstrike, the Dudley Boys, and the Dude Busters.
And the tournament seeded is
Usos versus Primo and Epico, Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King versus International Airstrike, it's International Airstrike.
Yeah,
I always forget. Yeah. Rey Mysterio versus Sin Cara. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus Hunico and Camacho. The Brotherhood versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. The Dudley Boys versus the Dude Busters. Bad Influence wins the Battle Royal, so they get the bye.
Yep.
Which,
so then on Smack, you know, if you remember what Bad Influence's character was, you know, before TNA, that would actually make sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
On SmackDown, on the December 22nd, 2013, I'm going to improv this a little bit. So we're out to talk about the tournament, and we talk about like how we look forward to facing all these teams, and then James is going to say, and while I'm at it, I kind of want some more gold. I want a main event WrestleMania. It's been a lifelong dream of mine. So I'm going to enter the Royal Rumble and, you know, main event WrestleMania. And then I get on the mic and says, James, I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. That's a great goal. I just think you need to find another way to main event WrestleMania. Because I also am going to enter the Royal Rumble. And this kind of leads to... And this kind of leads to, you know, a bit of friction. It's not going to be like, you know, a blood feud, but this is just like a nice way to, nice little friendly feud. So, I think this would be kind of cool.
We are friends that want to be in main event shit.
Now, everyone's probably asking why I'm just doing this. Why not booking qualifying matches for the Rumble? There's a few reasons. One, I actually like the concept where you can just announce being in the Rumble because it's like a lottery. I think that's how the Royal Rumble should be treated, so I think it's fine. Plus, that's a lot of qualifying matches to book, and I didn't feel like doing that. So,
no, it's there's only so much TV that you could do. Even if you did a quarterly, it's just fucking impossible.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no way you could do it. So, there you go.
So this is actually meant to be Raw, but I wrote SmackDown by mistake. I think. Yeah, I think this is meant to be Raw. I don't know what happened here. I've like looked through this several times, but I think this is meant to be Raw.
Okay.
On the day before Christmas Eve episode of Raw, I think that's a holiday too. We decided to give a Christmas wish to Yoshitatsu and Percy Watson and Kurt Hawk in the title X for a tag team title match. So we make it a triple threat match that's fairly sorted, and we win with our finish on Percy Watson. And each team in the tournament cuts a promo about how they're going to win the tournament. So there you go. Then on the Slammy...
I forgot about Percy Watson and fucking Yoshitatsu as a team. Oh, yeah!
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Then on the Slammy Award episode of Raw, we would win Best Tag Team of the Year. I know this has been a bit of overbooking, but it actually makes sense because we've done the most out of every one of this year, but we would beat teams like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, the Brotherhood, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, and Team Perfect Fortune Inc. Because they were a team for like the good portions of the beginning of the year, if you remember.
Yes.
So that would actually make sense. And then the tournament officially starts on the January 3rd, 2014 episode of SmackDown. And the matches are the Usos versus Primo and Epico, and the Usos win with a splash in a decent match. Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King versus International Airstrike. Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King win when Shelton Benjamin hits the pay dirt on Tyson Kidd for the win in a great match. Bad Influence throughout the show will be shown training and resting since they don't have to compete in the first round. They should be absolutely like assholes about it too. I think that'd be great. The Dudley Boys defeat the Dude Busters to advance with the 3D in an okay match. I know it because they have more experience, so they would actually. That's why it'd just be okay. And I don't want to. You can't book every match to be 5 stars because nothing stands out. So that's why it's just an okay match. So then, also on the show, this was a bit of improv booking right here. You'll be shown like making a chart and statistics about each guy in the Royal Rumble match and how you're going to take them out and eliminate them and stuff. And I come up and I say, this is really impressive, but I don't know. I noticed my name's not here. And you say, yep, the plan is, well, I was thinking we just work together and then, we can just see what happens at the end, like the video games we do all the time.
Yeah, right.
And then I say...
bring back the video game. Remember WYW? That shit, yeah. That weird shit that we used to do as kids.
No, I was just talking about just in video games. Like, remember how we always work together to take out the computers and then we always throw the guys out, so we're just going to do the same thing. And then I just say, so you underestimated me then? Because I could just decide to throw you over before that happens.
Yes.
And then you say, well, then maybe I will try to throw you over before you can even think about throwing me over. And it's nothing. It's nothing like personal, but it's kind of like we're getting a bit competitive because we know what's at stake when it comes to WrestleMania. So there you go.
Right.
Because I don't want to do a blood feud. I don't want to do too much. So.
Mm-hmm.
So then on the January 6, 2014 episode of Raw, the other matches are for the tournament. The Brotherhood versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. And the Brotherhood win when Cody Rhodes hits a crossroads on Jack Swagger. I gave Dolph Ziggler a break this time. It's not going to happen a lot, so you've got to get used to it.
Yes. Wait, where are we at? I'm so confused.
We're on the June 6, 2014 episode of Raw. I don't know why the format and I forgot something went wrong. So then also Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara.
Finals still. Okay. Are we?
Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara face Unico and Camacho. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara win when Rey hits the 619 and the splash on Camacho for the win. Then we have a squash match. Beat an enhancement team, and we joke around with each other, trying to throw each other over the top rope, but nothing really happens. And then you want to read what the quarterfinals are for the tournament?
Alright, here we are. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Usos versus Bad Influence. The Brotherhood versus Shelton Benjamin, Kenny King. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus Dudley Boys. And it gets revealed that the finals will be a triple threat matchup.
Explain that, because I tried to, because of the bye, it kind of screwed up the thing, so I had to make a triple threat match. So that's what happened.
That's what
So then on the January 10th, 2014 episode of SmackDown, various superstars like Wade Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, Kurt Hawkins, Tyler Rex, Damian Sandow, Christian, us, International Airstrike, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre come out and talk about how they're going to win the Rumble, which leads to everyone getting into a brawl, which sets up a 12-man tag team match where Dolph Ziggler pins Dolph Ziggler with the Claymore kick because, well, you know why. So, told you what.
I see. Okay. Continue.
Then Bad Influence beat the Usos with the high and low to advance in the tournament. The Brotherhood defeat Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King when Rhodes hits the crossroads on Kenny King for the win. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara defeat the Dudley Boys when Rey Mysterio hits a double 619 and Sin Cara hits the Swanton Bomb for the win. And the finals, I'll just read it just because I'm right here. It's Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus the Brotherhood versus Bad Influence. On the January 13th, 2014 episode of Raw, it's the finals. It's Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus the Brotherhood versus Bad Influence with us on commentary. This is a bit of improv, but Michael Cole would ask us, are you going to be able to focus as a team to retain your titles at the Rumble? Because of everything that's been going on with this competitiveness about wanting to get to WrestleMania and the Rumble and stuff.
This is I mean, I can answer this simply. Unless there is a story you have.
I didn't really answer the question. I said this is improv, so.
Okay. Well, I can answer for you. See, Cole, brothers fight, and we like to be a little bit competitive, so I'm glad that you decided to try to get your TMZ questions of the day, but settle down there, Chief. Owen and I...
That's a good
Wait, go.
I thought you were done. I was going to say, that's a good babyface way to answer, so... Yeah. But there's more.
I'll be like, here's the deal. Ready? Him and I are competitive people. We want to be the best. We want to be the best tag team, and we want to be the best individual superstar. But that's not going to affect us the night we have to defend the tag team titles. That's just bottom line. When we're in that ring, in that tag team match, we're always going to have the mindset of being a tag team, which a lot of people here can't say. Looking at you, Tyler Rex, and freaking Kurt Hawkins. Looking at you, Mr. Ziggles, and Swagalicious, whatever the fuck your name is. Censor my words. It's okay, Cole.
However, though, since this is the last two parts, I think it's gonna eat at you more than we say than you're saying though. So,
which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we give a little teaser that it might eat at me away.
Then the match goes 20 minutes, and it's a banger of a match. Eventually, Cody Rhodes hits the crossroads on Rey Mysterio and is about to go for the cover. However, Daniels throws Rhodes out of the win and pins Rey Mysterio to steal the win, becoming the number one contenders. Afterwards, they have a stare down with us. So, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So then on the January 17th, 2014 episode of SmackDown, Bad Influence come out and brag about how they're the number one contenders, and they are more... He says originally, let me improv this part a little bit, we would be... Babylon Flight would be considered, more likely to win this match if this had happened a month ago. However, now we're more of a unified team going into the Rumble, since they only have to focus on the tag team title match, while we're pulling double duty at the Rumble and have some trust issues with the upcoming Royal Rumble match. So then we come out and talk about how we've pulled double duty before, talking about the King of the Ring tournament, and can put aside our minor differences to retain the World Tag Team titles. And this leads to a brawl where we stand tall. But afterwards, from out of nowhere, James throws me over the top rope, showing that could be what happens at the Royal Rumble. So I also added that in there. So then, anything you want to improv, by the way, with that promo, or did I kind of say it all?
No, you said it all there. I mean, my actions speak louder than my words by throwing you over the top rope. Like, hi!
Yep.
I'm gonna be the one, not you. It's not your time. You know what?
And then on the Go Home episode of Raw, there's a 10-man tag team match between Ryback, CM Punk, The Brotherhood, and Us versus Bad Influence and The Shield. And Dean Ambrose pins Cody Rhodes with the Dirty Deans #1 for the win, which is the headlock driver. This could be a bit of improv to book it, but we can also kind of cause a factor in us losing because of everything going on with us in the Rumble. So that's why the heels end up getting the win. So that can be what happens.
Which is
so there you go.
Fine, yeah. Then
on the Go Home episode of SmackDown, we defeat Primo and Epico again because it's
these poor guys never gonna fucking break. we just keep beating their ass.
Afterwards, backstage, Bad Influence come up to me and try to stir up drama between us, saying James did that to you. He could do that again at the Rumble. Maybe he'll walk out at the tag title match and stuff. But I see what's happening, so when this doesn't work, Bad Influence just attacks me and lays me out. And I don't know where you are. You're just I guess you're just somewhere. I didn't really write it. Maybe you just go off. You went off into catering somewhere, and I was about to join you, but then this happened. So
I like my chocolate cake in catering, man.
Yeah.
I'm still.
I say your cheat. I don't think this is your cheat day though, so I don't think that can happen. So.
No, I just make Monday my cheat day. Get some extra carbs after a match.
Then at the Royal Rumble, a few things happen. So on the kickoff show, we have a conversation about matches, and James mentions that it could come down to you and me at the Rumble, and I'm just like, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the tag team title match, and once we're past that, we'll get to that. Then in the opening match, it's us versus I almost said Babylon Flight, ourselves. Zayn Extreme Rules 2020, where Strowman fought himself pretty much. In the opening match, it's Babylon Flight, us versus Bad Influence for the tag team titles. This would be an incredible match that goes 21 minutes and 30 seconds. That has a lot of near falls, and eventually we win with the Damnation Bomb Blue Jay Splash on Kazarian for the win. Afterwards, you try to throw me over the top rope, but this time I reverse it and throw you over the top rope. So, it's setting some things up right there. So now let's book the Royal Rumble match. So I'll come out number 4.
You know what? I'd probably just be like shaking my head with a smile on my face, and I just look straight at you like, "Hey, yo, best 2 out of 3."
Yeah. But yeah, in the Rumble, I come out number 4, and last a long time, and I eliminate Damian Sandow, Wade Barrett, Tyson Kidd, and Big E Langston, but get eliminated by Seth Rollins, lasting 35 minutes. You come out number 10, eliminate Ted DiBiase Jr., Seth Rollins, Kenny King, and Jack Swagger, but get eliminated by Roman Reigns, lasting 26 minutes. Notice, by the way, who eliminated us. Remember that. That was foreshadowing right there. There would be a period. There would be a period. What's up?
The Shield boys.
Yep. Then there would be a period of time in the match where we do face off a little bit, but nothing really happens because it gets interrupted by Randy Orton and Kane. So this, I did do something, but we got cut off by heels. So
they're mad. They're mad heels. Yep. They don't like us. They always hate us, fuckers.
So now it's time to set up a WrestleMania 30 match. The next night on Raw, William Regal makes the announcement that he's setting up the first ever tag team elimination chamber match. Because this is before that happens, and this is a different universe. So, where the winners become the number one contenders to the WWE. I meant to write the World Tag Team titles, but I forgot to. At WrestleMania 30, he announces several qualifying matches throughout the next few weeks, which you can read, James.
They will be Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. That's a banger of a match right there. The Dudleys versus Tommy Dreamer and Rhino. Why is that one the Extreme Rules match but nothing else? Just because they're from ECW, you don't think they can have a good regular match? Come on now.
Well, I'll explain because I don't know if this was in real life, but this is in my universe. That episode of Raw is going to be in Philadelphia, so that's why it's an Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger at the feud, a.k.a. the feud that never ends.
Yep.
Give me 1 minute. Fuck Dolph Ziggler. We haven't said that yet. Usos versus Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. Then we got the Brotherhood versus Vladimir Kozlov and Ezekiel Jackson versus Primo and Epico versus Johnny Curtis and Derek Bateman. And then we have Bad Influence versus International Airstrike. And then we have Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King versus Da Dude Busters.
Yep.
They're busting dudes. Whoa.
Wait a minute.
That's a good out of context. Scratch what I just said.
So then on Raw, on the January 26, 2014 edition, we come out and cut a promo talking about all the teams that we could possibly face at WrestleMania and wish them all luck, in the Elimination Chamber matches and stuff. There'd be a video package showing all the stuff Tommy Dreamer and Rhino did in their careers to kind of remind everybody who they are, because, there is some new fans out there, so you got to think about them too.
Don't actually care about your fucking audience.
Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara defeat Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger when Rey Mysterio hits a 619 on fill in the blank because you know why. So there you go.
Is that just gonna be the fucking joke now?
Yep.
Fuck off. It's great though. Continue.
Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns defeat Daniel Bryan and CM Punk via Dean Ambrose interference. Afterwards, they lay out Punk and Bryan. But this would be it'd be a killer of a match. So then on the January 31st, 2014 episode of SmackDown, Shelton Benjamin and Kenny King defeat the Dude Busters in a fairly fine match. Afterwards, Bobby Lashley, who's returned by now, hits a spear on Kalen Croft through the barricade, writing him off TV to retire in real life. And then Trent Beretta will go singles.
For a bit until Chuck E. T comes in.
Yes, but he can't. He's not going to come in right away because
right.
he should.
But Trent can be. Trent's shown already. He could be a fucking singles guy anyway.
Yeah.
And this would be the perfect time for it, honestly, because my God, the fucking tag team division, the way you have it set up is like loaded. So he'd be a fish out of water if he tried to find another partner, and it just wouldn't work the same with without Kalen Croft or Chuck E. T.
Yep.
You may be able to do it with Kurt Hawkins, but even then, that's short-lived because then they just have a rivalry anyway on Superstars. So
yeah,
it just doesn't work. So make him a singles guy. Fuck it, why not?
Yep. Then it's the Brotherhood versus Vladimir Kozlov and Ezekiel Jackson versus Primo and Epico versus Johnny Curtis and Derek Bateman. The Brotherhood win when Goldust hits the final count on Derek Bateman for the win. Afterwards, the Shield attacked them and triple powerbomb Cody Rhodes on the floor. the Dudleys cut a promo saying that on this would be backstage, saying that on Raw they're going to make Dreamer and Rhino wish they never stepped back in the ring.
Dang.
Um,
They don't like it. They don't like their former friends anymore. There can only be one guy from New York that's bigger than the two of us. It's me.
That's because all they care about is winning the tag team titles. So
that's fair.
That's
fair.
So then, let me kind of give some context on this Raw. For one night only, USA Network will allow Raw to be TVMA. I say that because with what the main event's going to be, it won't make sense if I don't say that. This is just for one night only, though. I don't know how the sponsors are going to feel about it, but this is the only way I can justify this with the main event that we have.
All right, go.
So,
Go.
The Usos, but before that, this is on the February 3rd, 2014 episode of Raw. The Usos defeat Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex in a perfectly fine TV match with MVP on commentary. In the main event, the Dudley Boys and Dreamer and Rhino have a violent match when the Dudleys win when Bubba Ray Dudley hits a powerbomb to Tommy Dreamer through a flaming table for the win. Afterwards, the Shield come out to attack them, but Sandman can be here because I think he did a top rope show. Maybe not one before this, but I know he was still kind of doing stuff in the business, so I think this makes sense. He comes out to attempt to make the save, and he starts laying people out with a kendo stick. However, Roman Reigns hits a spear on him, breaks the kendo stick, and the Shield triple powerbomb him through the announcer's table. So there you go.
You can make that TV 14.
Huh?
You can make that TV 14. It doesn't have to be MA. Depends on how violent we're being here. Like, are they gonna cut an artery kind of violent? Like Eddie Guerrero, JBL kind of violent? Or are we talking like...
Well, I was gonna have like a cheese grater be used and stuff, so...
Cheese grater's been used in WWE.
Alright then.
Just make a TV 14 that one night, you're fine.
Then on the February 7th,
by the way, everybody's like, the network wanted that to change. No, it didn't. They changed it for the political campaign. It's not like the USA and fucking MyTV or whoever the fuck they were on Sci-Fi didn't give a shit what fucking rating they were.
About the sponsors, I think because there'd be some sponsors that probably wouldn't be very happy about it. So
I don't know about that, man. Have you seen the sponsors for AEW lately? It's 18 to 34 demo, man. That's like their bread and butter. That's like every advertising market's bread and butter.
That's true. So then on the February 7th, 2014 episode of SmackDown, a lot of things happen. Bad Influence defeat International Air Strike to earn the last spot in the Chamber. With us on commentary, this would be a killer of a match.
Yeah.
The Dudleys have a sit-down interview with Joey Styles talking about the attack the Shield did, and they don't care since Dreamer and Rhino brought it upon themselves by stepping into the ring, and all they care about is winning the World Tag Team titles for... I said the 10th time, but I think since TNA's brought out, it would probably be more than that, because they would actually count the TNA ones now, so...
yeah.
I don't know how many.
The 78th time, who knows? They won too many times, my guy. They've won a lot of tag belts.
I had to write Sin Cara wrestles Kenny Kin because this program wouldn't let me put Sin Cara versus Kenny Kin, so I had to write Sin Cara wrestles Kenny Kin.
I got you. Wait. Hold on. I got you. I did it.
I don't know how the hell you did that, but
it's called don't use your phone to type this shit all the time. Just go on via the computer and you're fine.
Anyhow, Sin Cara versus Kenny Kin with MVP on commentary. Bobby Lashley's not there because he's promoting a Bellator fight. But yeah, it's Sin Cara versus Kenny Kin with MVP.
They're not gonna do the. I feel like Vince would never even mention this, but fair enough.
Well, that's not the reason. They won't say that. There's a reason I need Bobby Lashley to be away for this stuff that's going to happen at MVP and stuff. But, Sin Cara versus Kenny Kin, though, with MVP on commentary. Rey Mysterio isn't there for unknown reasons, but eventually the Shield is shown in the crowd, which causes MVP to flee because he knows he's going to get his ass kicked. And Seth Rollins has Rey Mysterio's mask that allows Kenny Kin to hit the Royal Flush on Sin Cara for the win. Benjamin and Ken flee, and the Shield hit the triple powerbomb on Sin Cara, laying him out. So there you go.
That's fair.
Then on the February 10th, 2004, it's supposed to say 14 episode of Raw, a lot of things happen. In the opening match, Seth Rollins defeats Goldust. Afterwards, the Shield triple powerbomb him. Backstage, Bad Influence are making fun of Sin Cara that he doesn't have a tag team partner for the match tonight. So Drew McIntyre comes up and says, "Hey, I couldn't help but over here it's supposed to say you need a partner, so I'm looking for a fight. So how about it?" Because that sounds like something he'd say. Just I can't say it in a Scottish accent.
Hold on,
so.
I got you. What is it?
Just
I couldn't help but hear you need a partner. So I'm looking for a fight. How about it?
there you go. So it's Drew McIntyre and Sin
Why
Cara
was
versus
that
Bad
good?
Influence.
I suck at Scottish accents usually. What the fuck?
I don't know how that happened.
I got too into these characters. I'm gonna turn in the mic and just start conversating with various different characters. Talking to
So
myself.
it's Drew McIntyre and Sin Cara versus Bad Influence. Drew and Sin Cara win when Drew hits the Claymore kick on Kazarian for the win. Since we're building Drew up to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, he kind of needs to get the win here.
That's fair.
Backstage, Kenny Ken is being interviewed about the match with the Usos when Shelton Benjamin comes up and says that he can't find MVP, but they still have to go out for the match. And during the match, Rollins and Reigns, and the Shield too, drag out a beaten down MVP. And Benjamin goes to save him. Actually, no, it actually is Rollins and Reigns. Benjamin goes to save him, and Ambrose hits him in the back of the head with the World Heavyweight Championship. This allows the Usos to hit the double super kick on Kenny King for the win. Afterwards, the Shield triple powerbomb MVP off the stage. You could kind of see why I needed Lashley to be away for a while, because he would have had to been involved with this. So,
I hope you have a match between Reigns and Lashley, please. Now I want to see. See, this is how you make me care about shit that normally I wouldn't care about. If you actually book the shit properly, then I care about seeing matches like a Lashley and Reigns. Gee, who'd have thunk it?
We can't go. We're not going there though because of the plans we have right now. So, but on the the Valentine's Day episode of SmackDown, more things happened.
As you could say, St. Valentine's Day Massacre episode of Raw.
Bad Influence wrestles Sin Cara and Adrian Neville. And Bad Influence win by turning Sin Cara's mask backwards, and Daniels hits a running STO for the win. The Shield attack the Dudleys and the Usos backstage. In the main event, Rollins and Reigns defeat Kenny King and Shelton Benjamin with the Burning Hammer double knee combo after they lay out Kenny King with the triple powerbomb. Then Cody Rhodes is shown backstage. What I would have happen is I'd have him drive a car, but better than what he did when he did it with Lance Archer. It would be a lot. I'm hoping it would be a lot better, but I'm assuming you can't really plan that type of stuff out because it was probably supposed to be better there. But anyhow, and he rushes the win, but the numbers game is too much. Then Rey Mysterio's music hits. The number game is too much for him. Then Daniel Bryan comes out, and they eventually fight off the Shield.
Shield seems like they just want to ruin our fun here. Ow.
Yeah, they do. They're fun ruiners. So then on the Go Home edition of Raw, one major thing happens. There's a 6-pack challenge where the winner gets the last spot in the chamber, and whoever gets pinned is number one. The match is Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes versus Bubba Ray Dudley versus Christopher Daniels versus Jimmy Uso. Before the match, there's going to be a little video intro, all edited nice and fancy, of us going through each team and talking about the potential of facing each one of them at WrestleMania. The one we really don't talk about, well, actually, we'll talk about everyone. The one that we kind of withhold really talking about is the Shield.
Because
we just don't want.
I mean, if you don't know who the Shield are by this point,
yeah,
come on. They're
in the match,
power bombing every motherfucker.
And then in the match, I'd have it actually kick off the show. It goes 30 minutes, and Roman Reigns pins Cody Rhodes with a spear for the win. Afterwards, the Shield hit the triple powerbomb on Bad Influence because before this, they bragged that they were the only ones that didn't get taken out by the Shield. So now they can't brag about it anymore. Plus, they were the only. I had to find a way to have them get taken out too. So, by this, that means Rollins and Reigns can go into the chamber last, and the Brotherhood have to start the chamber. Because I think the Brotherhood would be perfect to start the chamber, because they could be like the Iron Men of the chamber. And if you've seen the matches they were putting on around this time, they could definitely do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then on the go-home edition of SmackDown, all the teams cut little promos throughout the show, talking about how they're going to win the chamber match. And then in the main event, The Shield defeat Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, and Daniel Bryan. Then at Elimination Chamber, we have the match with us on commentary. The Brotherhood and Bad Influence would start the match, and they would get the match off to a good start. Next would be Kenny King and Shelton Benjamin, and they would hit some nice athletic moves. Then Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara would come in and hit some good lucha thins, because I really wanted to say that.
God damn it, Owen.
Next would be the Dudleys, and they would they would be wicked violent, which you could see my Boston accent coming out when I typed that, and destroy the teams. Next would be the Usos, and they would be really on fire.
Wait, what was the Boston accent again?
I said next would be the Dudleys, and they would be wicked violent and destroy the teams. So
they also be wicked smart.
Yeah.
Wicked smart.
Next would be the Usos, and then they would be really on fire. Then would be the Shield, and they would wreck shop like the Shield would. Let's go through the eliminations. The eliminations would be Seth Rollins eliminates Jey Uso with a curb stomp, and effectively the Usos are eliminated. Roman Reigns eliminates Bubba Ray Dudley with a spear. Effectively, the Dudleys are eliminated. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns has the Burn and Hammer double knee combo on Kenny Ken. Effectively, Kenny Ken and Shelton Benjamin are eliminated. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins hit a double powerbomb on Bad Influence, eliminating them. Rollins and Reigns hit the buckle bomb on Sin Cara into a spear from Reigns, because the move wouldn't be banned yet. Effectively eliminating Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio. Time for the end of the match. I think this would be perfect sense if it's the last two teams, Rollins and Reigns versus the Brotherhood, because that's kind of the feud that's been going on for a while.
That makes sense.
And the match ends when Rollins hits the buckle bomb on Goldust into a spear from Reigns, effectively eliminating the Brotherhood, and now the Rollins and Reigns are the number one contenders. And I put them over strong. They would be the first team ever to eliminate every person in the chamber match. So,
we gotta give them props.
Yeah, it'd be very predictable, but I feel feeling like people like Chris Dodd, if he saw this, would be like, "Oh, it was so predictable that they were gonna win." But I mean, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. So,
you want to build them up strong, right?
Yeah.
There you go. We beat.
And I did one thing. This is a lot like the Shayna Baszler finish, but the thing I did better was I had the Shield come out last instead of Baszler already being in the match and having to wait a while. I think it's better that she should have come out last if that was going to happen, but that's besides the point. So now on to the build-up of WrestleMania. It's us versus Rollins and Reigns now. The next night on Raw, doing like the WWE intro thing that plays, not the Raw intro, but the thing. The Shield just like invaded, doing the thing, and they talk about their dominance at the Elimination Chamber and say that tonight they're going, they're taking the night off, but at WrestleMania they'll accomplish their long-term goal and rule with the WWE with an iron fist by being draped in gold. They could obviously smooth this out and improv this, so that's basically what I kind of want them to say. Later on in the show, we come out and cut a promo talking about how no faction has dominated the WWE like the Shield. And we talk about how we cannot let the Shield win these titles at WrestleMania because that means they will become stronger and officially take over WWE. I want that to be like ingested in people's heads, like, we can't let that happen. So that's basically what we're saying.
From the days of the authority to lose. We come too far from the days of the authority to let it slip through now, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that, or?
Fuck the system. We are the system.
There you go. So then,
people power.
So then on the February 28th, 2014 episode of SmackDown, the Shield cut a badass promo about their run in WWE and how by the end of WrestleMania they're going to be draped in gold and be the most dominant force in WWE. Later on in the show, we defeat, this time, Derek Bateman and Johnny Curtis in a squash, because they're kind of an enhancement team. And then we challenge only Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns to come face to face with us on Raw. So that on the May 3rd, 2014 episode of Raw, we come out and talk about how a lot of people have been telling us that calling out the Shield is a terrible idea. However, we would have never gotten as far as we have in life. I didn't just say in WWE, but in life, if we didn't take chances. So we say, come on out, boys. I have you say it, because I think you can say it better.
In other words, we can't be good, we can't be smart without having a little bit of freaking stupid.
Yep.
So come on out, boys. Let's go. Let's fight right here, right now.
So Rollins and Reigns come out, and Roman Reigns says that you wanted us, now we're here. Seth starts by saying that the Shield has been fighting injustice since day one, and that the biggest one is that we've been champions for almost a year and have never once offered them a title shot. We talk about how they had all of these teams that we had to go through, and at any time the Shield could have had an opportunity that but they were too busy doing the Authorities or Dean Ambrose's bidding. But now at WrestleMania, they will have a chance to prove how dominant they really are. We offer for them to fight, but Rollins and Reigns back down. I think that'd be a pretty damn good promo right there.
You know what I'd ended off with? This is what I'd ended off with, a little bit of improv. Exactly as I thought. Oh, hey, there's a microphone. I could just use it as a standing. Exactly what I thought. So you could do it when everybody's worn down and has had a match, and you could be the big men. But when a team like Babylon Flight's 100%, you're nothing but chicken shits, and you run the fuck to the back. Shield, how apropos your name's called the Shield. Well, let me tell you something. We're the armor tank. Heavy duty that's gonna break your Shield into pieces. At WrestleMania. Bang.
That'd be great. No, I don't think anyone's ever said that to the Shield, too, because...
I don't even know where the fuck I put my mic. It fell. Ah! Oh, there it is. Alright, I found it.
You know what's kind of funny, too? Like, I know no one, I don't think, ever said that to the Shield when they were thin. And you're the one that thought of it. Like, no one's ever said that to the Shield.
Off the top of my fucking head, by the way.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of promos, and I've hung around with Mike a lot. I've learned the value of the one-liner. I've learned the value of the one-liner. It is so important to a fucking promo, I can't even begin to tell you. So, there you go. Anyway, continue.
So on the March 7th, 2014 episode of SmackDown, when they get some content to this, I'm thinking of setting up like many matches at WrestleMania. I don't know which one's the best choice, but I'm not actually booking it. So if I ever booked it, I decide. So Ambrose, since he's double champ, I have had him thinking I want to book one of these many matches. You can tell me which one you like the best. So it can either be Dean Ambrose defending one title against Daniel Bryan, and then later on in the show defending the other one against CM Punk, or I could just have him have a triple threat, just defend both belts against both guys. Or I could do the triple threat and do what they did at WrestleMania 2000, but they did the 2 out of 3 falls thing, where one falls for the U.S. and then one falls for the World Heavyweight. Or I could have Punk versus Bryan, and the winner faces Dean Ambrose later in the show. What's concept you like the best? Because that's kind of what I've been toying around with. Do you need to hear him again? Do you need to hear him again?
No, I heard him. I'm just trying to think now, because that's a good question.
Yeah.
I would probably say go with the WrestleMania 2001, because I remember that match being fucking great. And there was a lot on the line, and you didn't know really what could happen, so there's a bigger unpredictability factor there. So
a lot of people hated it. I remember a lot of people liked the match, but hated the concept of 2 out of 3 falls.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Yeah.
thought that I honestly really did because it made it so unpredictable. Like you didn't know who was gonna walk out with the belts. Because, there was a chance that one person could walk out with both, and there was a chance that one could walk out with one, and the other could walk out with the other belt. I thought that was ingenious, actually. That was one of the few things that I think Vince Russo booked in his last few years in WWE. So
All right, then.
I'll give credit where credit's due. I thought it was a good way to make it unpredictable.
So that's what we're going with then.
Unpredictability, ladies and gentlemen. You wanted it. So there it is.
So that's why CM Punk and Daniel Bryan kind of help us out a little bit in this feud because they're feuding with Ambrose and stuff.
Yeah, why not?
So on the March 7th, 2014 episode of Raw, a 6-man tag team match is scheduled. It's CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and one of us versus the Shield. So backstage, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and us come up with a plan. And in the match, it looks like it's going to be me that's going to be teaming up with Punk. Because that makes sense, because our styles would be the same and everything like that. However, when I'm on the apron, when Punk goes to make the tag, you step up to the apron and actually make the tag. We do the whole Sanity Authors of Pain thing they did at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I forget which one.
Yeah, so pretend we're doing one strategy and do the exact opposite to throw them off.
This tactic works for a while, but the Shield's able to adapt in Paris, and Seth Rollins hits a curb stomp on you for the win, so it didn't really work. Afterwards, though, the Shield tried to attack everyone, but this time I went out to
I had smooth brain.
I'm on commentary and wanted to make the save, and the baby faces fight off the Shield. So, we tried.
And you know what our thing is like. Sorry, I probably should. We should do a backstage segment, improv. Here we go. Just so you know, in case it wasn't obvious, the idea was to throw them off. I guess it didn't really work out like I thought it would. My bad.
Yeah.
I probably should have just let you do your thing. So, I know for next time to just let you do you, and I'll do me.
Yeah.
When it comes to those situations when we're teaming up with people we've never teamed up with before. So, my bad. My bad, Chief.
So that way, we don't look completely dumb. Yeah. So.
Because it's one thing to be stupid. A babyface can admit when they're stupid. It's admitting their stupidity and learning from the mistakes that makes them a good babyface because they're human and they're trying to be good people. So then on the it's kind of this thing called character development. The more you know.
By the way, no Google or nothing. Do you remember the significance of a segment that happened on March 10th, 2014 in real life? Do you remember a segment that happened on that day?
I think I do, kinda. No, I think it's the Yes thing, right?
Yeah, the Occupy Raw thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Occupy Raw movement.
Yeah. But that doesn't happen because that's already happened at this point now.
Yeah, so. I think we did that earlier in this booking, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the March 10th, 2014 episode of Raw, we get interviewed backstage, not by JR, but by Renee Young, which I would love to have be interviewed by Renee Young. And she asked us how we could possibly overcome the Shield at WrestleMania. And we don't really have an answer right now because everything we've tried, the Shield's overcame. But we just have to hope for a miracle pretty much at WrestleMania, we say. We're not really doubting ourselves, but we just kind of say it in a way we just have to hope for a miracle.
All I know is, Renee, is this. We've come this far. We've held the tag team titles for a full year by the time WrestleMania 30 comes around. By the time we go in there, we ain't planning on giving these up without a damn fight. We haven't before. We're damn sure ain't going to start now. I've said it before. I'll say it 100 more times. Before, it was a bazooka going through the Shield. Now it's an atomic freaking bomb.
Can you save that line? Because there's the atomic bomb part. Because the next thing's gonna be the atomic bomb.
I can make one better. There's actually a bomb bigger than the atomic bomb.
All right, so say that. Do you think sponsors in USA though we get mad because I know like that we say stuff like that though because yeah I know like they're really weird about that like that's why Ember Moon couldn't be the war goddess and that's why.
How many times have Cena said the ass on a PG show?
Yeah.
Edge just said it too, like bitch and all this other stuff. And I hate you, son of a bitch. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna beat your bottom.
So anyhow, let's get. So my uncle, cousin, and this is improv. Your uncle, because when I booked this, I forgot about your uncle. Come up, and it was revealed that they were given backstage passage to the shows as a way to make up for what the show did to them.
Yeah. Do you know?
Back
do you
in
know
November.
the thing between my Uncle Gary and I?
Huh?
Owen! James! He gives a big hug to me and my friends all the time, and then he always gives a big hug to me. He's like, you the man. I'm like, no, you the man. That's a thing we always do. So we gotta include that on Raw. I don't even care. So there we go.
So that could happen. It's looking like a good time later on in the night. Believe it or not, surprise, surprise, we squashed Primo and Epico again. Surprise, surprise. And they're showing in the crowd.
The shining stars of the Caribbean. God damn it.
And then a little later...
Poor guys can never catch a break. Do we always have competitive matches with them?
Sometimes we do, just not this time.
Oh. Well, it makes sense, because we're kind of angry and mad.
Well, not yet. We're not mad yet. We're going to get mad in a second, though. So a little later on in the show, we get shown leaving, and we offer for our uncles and stuff, to come with us. But they want to stay and mingle with the wrestlers and stuff, which ends up being a big mistake. So Seth Rollins is seen eavesdropping.
Filthy fucking marks. Sorry.
So
I love our uncles, but come on, that's a rookie move if you're a pro wrestling fan, bro. Let me tell you.
Yeah. So Seth Rollins is eavesdropping, showing that something bad is going to happen. So later on in the night, they get interviewed and talk about how it's been a great experience being on Raw with when the Shield attacked them. How this would happen is because we're dealing with kind of like people outside the business. I have like the camera fall over and stuff like that, and the camera go off and stuff, and that would be what happens. I'm assuming your uncle could take the bump though, because he plays hockey and stuff. So I think
you would think, but he can't. Mainly because he had concussion.
Okay.
He has CTE, so he wouldn't be able to do it.
So maybe then he could just get taken out like backstage, it doesn't actually happen because he won't be there for the bit that happens in the ring. So later on in the night, hold on. When it comes back from the break, the commentators are distraught. I would have Byron Saxon on commentary because I know a lot of people crap on him, but he's so good at being distraught and
really
hated.
Good at selling shit. I agreed. Yeah.
And it's not going to be like the main roster thing that happens now, where they go, well, let's move on to the next. No, they're distraught, almost like the rest of the show. They're not talking really. So then the Shield pulls out my uncle from backstage and beats him down. My cousin comes out to try to make the save, but because of his injuries, the numbers game gets the better of him, and he gets beaten down. And the Shield hit the triple powerbomb on my uncle to end the segment. No commentary or nothing would play while this attack's happening either. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, just a collective gasp as it happens. Oh no, not again.
Honestly, this probably has to end the show, probably, right? Because it's gonna be.
I would say so.
So then on the day before my birthday too. Yeah, why not? The day before my birthday. I'm not gonna change my birthday. So, technically I did
my birthday for the sake of the storyline we're writing. That's fictional anyway.
But technically it does change because I'm born earlier in this universe, but I'm gonna keep the day the same. If you don't know, my birthday's March 15th, and this is March 14th, 2014, episode of SmackDown.
Well, there you go.
It's revealed It's revealed that Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and us are given the night off because of how personal the situation is, and Teddy Long knows, like, if we get into the building, like, it's just gonna be bad.
Oh, we're gonna get in the building, alright.
Well, no, that's because of how. So we do a sit-down promo to give our reaction about what happened, and we give an update on the conditions of our uncle and stuff, and cousin and all that. I say I somewhat blame myself. We somewhat blame ourselves a little bit for leaving the arena, not being there to defend our families. And now the segment says, I'll say this, at WrestleMania, we're not only going to defeat the Shield, but we're going to break the Shield. And then what's worse than an atomic bomb? I'm assuming you want to say that.
It's changed. Before, our military-industrial tank. Then it turned into an atomic bomb. Plays a video. We're sitting down with JR, right?
This is just like a sit-down promo in general. Like, this was filmed before the show, so this isn't.
I want you to zoom in on my phone. If you don't know, that's the Tezar bomb. Forewarned. We're probably not waiting until WrestleMania. And there isn't a damn thing that management is going to be able to do about it. Let's go.
And that's it. But there's more, believe it or not. Later on in the show, Seth Rollins shows up to Chelsea Green's house. Now, it's not going to be what you think, by the way. Let's just play that. Just hear me out before anything else.
Scared. Don't touch
shows up to Chelsea Green's house and is being very kind and caring towards her, but is also putting us down by talking about how we should have known that when people are backstage, it's fair game when what happens to them. And he hugs her creepily, knowing that this is going to eat us alive, mainly you. So there you go. So yeah, it wasn't what you thought. And you know why Seth Rollins can do this? Because we know he can do stuff like this with the work he's doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this will absolutely work.
So then, on the March 17th, 2014 episode of Raw, we squash Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. Because this time it makes sense to be a squash, because we're pissed at this point now. We're not wasting any time, with Matt.
Improv. We're going to channel in a sting. Baseball bat for you. Baseball bat for me. We going to beat down the people we just beat up in the ring. That's you know what? Hey, Rollins. Hope you're watching, buddy.
And then we demand the Shield come out, and they pop on the screen, and they say that they only fight on their time, so they're not going to come out and fight. Later on in the show, the Shield defeat the Brotherhood and Rey Mysterio. Afterwards, they attack. We come out to attack them, and we brawl with Reigns and Rollins.
You do realize we're pulling we're going Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, pull apart brawl vibes, right?
Yep.
This calls for it. We're just they got to get the entire damn locker rooms out to separate us.
Yep. I don't know what. Yeah, and even Ambrose can't, even though it's 3-on-1, he was so mad. Even the 3-on-1 doesn't matter.
3-on-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then on the March 24th, 2014 episode of SmackDown, Roman Reigns defeats me in a very competitive match. And Seth Rollins defeats you in another very competitive match. I know I could do well. That kind of makes us look bad, but I hate doing that 50-50 booking thing where a member of a team beats one guy in a match and then the other member of the team beats another guy. That's just 50-50 booking. I hate that, so that's why I didn't book it that way.
That's fair.
Yeah. You just have to accept that I hate that booking. So,
that's fine.
So then on the March 24th, 2014 episode of Raw, Triple H and Sting are having a face-to-face segment, and Triple H brings out the Shield to attack Sting. to build up to Triple H versus Sting. But during their entrance, we brawl with Rollins and Reigns through the crowd. And since Ambrose is still there, it's 2-on-1. It's still 2-on-1, and they surround Sting. When Daniel Bryan went out with a chair, and the heels retreat. So there you go.
Baseball bats in
then
hand, by the way. Baseball bats in hand. Even though this ain't a baseball bat, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine that that mark-out moment for you and I first behind the scenes? Yo, we were in a personal feud with The Shield. Sting was in a more personal feud with Triple H, and all three of us had baseball bats, and we stood next to Sting holding off the enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, could you imagine? Come on.
Then on the March 28th, 2014 episode of SmackDown, there's 2 sit-down interviews. I'll let you improv these. Michael Cole interviews The Shield. What do you want to have The Shield say? I know this isn't really you, but what do you want?
I feel like I don't know what they could say. I feel like I do a misjustice speaking as a heel, as heels for them.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, whatever they say, they say. Then.
Oh wait,
they talk about.
I got one for at least Reigns. You know, back in my family, it's all about the tribe. You know, if James had an ounce of man in his body, which, let's be honest, he doesn't. Same thing with Owen. They would be the alpha dogs in their family instead of always trying to protect their family. They wouldn't let them, go and fend for themselves, whether they were old, young, or what have you. Where I come from, you respect your elders by letting them fend for themselves. And if they couldn't fend us off, guess what? That's on them. That's some heat. Come on. That's some heat. Saying shit like that.
Before that could be
that's too. Roman Reigns' gimmick now. So there you go.
And then before that, like Seth Rollins could talk about how the ultimate goal was total control of WWE. Seth Rollins can also say they did this to get us in this state, so that way it would cause us to make a mistake at WrestleMania, since we're so involved with rage, and the Shield have a tendency to exploit that. And then Roman Reigns can say what he said. All right, what's out? We're having one with JL, so you can improv that.
I got you.
By the way, should we have seen the one that the Shield did too, so we can kind of respond to it?
Yeah, we saw that one. We saw that one. You're in the same state this time that I'm in.
Like a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, so we're both in that state.
Yep. Actually, I have a one. Typically, I'm usually the cooler head that prevails when it comes to tag team with me and James, and that's why it works. But lately, I've been in the exact same state that he's been in. And now that we're both in this state, it's either going to make us weaker or stronger at WrestleMania. But as long as the Shield doesn't walk out at WrestleMania, that's all that matters. Even if they win the titles from us, they're not going to be able to be there the next night, or even the rest of the year to talk about it. And then what do you want to say?
Family first. It's what I've always been taught. That's what my buddy has always been taught. You attacked our family. Now we come for your head. Simple as that.
There you go.
Simple as
that.
Like, if you said everything that needed to be said at that point, and then I just ended it with that one-liner.
Did I kind of take a spotlight there then?
No, man. I when you say the most part of it, and then I just end it with that one-liner.
Alright, then on the go-home episode of Raw, I'm scheduled to have a match with Seth Rollins, but earlier in the show, you get taken out by the Shield to prevent you from being ringside in the match. So it's looking like I'm doomed, because now it's basically a 3-on-1. But during the match, just when it looks like Seth Rollins is going to win, Punk and Bryan brawl with Reigns and Ambrose, which distracts Rollins long enough for me to hit a super kick and the Blue Jay splash for the win. So there you go. We got a final happy-go-lucky moment in the show. Well, at least I did, anyways. You didn't.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then on the go-home episode of SmackDown, there's a 12-man tag team match. By the way, I basically just embraced the facts that I'm Teddy Long, by the way, as you noticed. So
You're gonna be in a tag team match with Kane, Sid Vicious, and The Undertaker.
But yeah, there's a 12-man tag team match with The Shield, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, and Ted DiBiase Jr. versus CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Us, and the Brotherhood. The Shield and everybody else wins. When Roman Reigns hits a spear on Goldust for the win. Afterwards, there's a big brawl and the faces stand tall when Bryan hits a GT. Actually, no, when Punk hits a GTS on Ambrose into a flying knee by Bryan. You know, to kind of show that they could possibly win the singles belts. But you know,
all four of us stand tall.
Huh?
All of us, all the babyface stand tall.
Yeah, all the baby faces stand tall.
Yay! I'm with guys I respect him.
Then at WrestleMania, it's Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Us for the World Tag Team Championship. And it's going to be a fantastic match. It goes 22 minutes and 25 seconds. The match is, no stipulations, but because of how personal it is, the referee shows a little bit of leeway, kind of like in AEW.
As you know, referees should do in situations like that.
Yeah, especially it's anyway. One major thing that in the match that happened is Seth Rollins is going to be the first one to kick out of our finisher, which kind of surprises the hell out of us. But then in the end, Seth Rollins...
We think we were going to have a harder time with Reigns in that case. So, yeah, that's fair enough.
Then in the end, Seth Rollins hits the buckle bomb on me, into a spear by Reigns, and then they win the belts, and our year-long tag title reign is over, and now the Shield are draped in gold. Which is cool.
Damn.
And, by the way, can we film part 4? Because that's the end of part 3. Can we film part 4 today, or... But it's only 9 o'clock.
I can't at the moment, because that's why I wanted to start at 5, because I got, something to do.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, but...
Okay. But anyway, before we continue, so do we try to attack them, or did they beat us up so bad that...
Well, the match is just so... like I said, the match is so good and stuff. Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's physically taxing to the point where both teams are worn out.
Yeah. So the champion, I'll just say this part because I'll explain it. So the champions after WrestleMania 30 is Drew McIntyre is the WWE champion now.
Yes.
He beats Brock Lesnar. I'd have the match go a little longer than it did in real life because now there's no pandemic to kind of get in the way of that. So
yeah, right.
They can have a killer of a match. Dean Ambrose retains his world title. Actually, and I'll say what happens with Drew because it ties into something else. So what happens is the next night on Raw, Drew McIntyre will come out, and since Bryan was consistently not told that he couldn't get a title match because of everything with the Authority, McIntyre wants to be a fighting champion, and he gives Bryan a shot at the title, and the referee would take a bump, Bryan will hit a low blow, and then turn heel, win the title, and become the new Daniel Bryan. Because now it would be time for Daniel Bryan to change his character up because he's done everything that he's done as this version of Daniel Bryan.
Yay! Now we got Planetary Savior Daniel. We got Captain Planet Daniel Bryan.
But as of right now, though, Drew McIntyre is the WWE champion because that part hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Dean Ambrose was the World Heavyweight Champion. Should Bryan then, because of the heel turn, take both falls on the 2 out of 3 falls then? Like, he's the one that gets pinned twice, and that can really add to his heel turn?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Adrian Neville wins the IC title from Wade Barrett. Barrett will consistently talk about how Adrian Neville takes all these risks, and Barrett doesn't done any of that. And that's why he's been more successful than him. And, it leads to Neville beating him for the title.
Makes sense.
Dean Ambrose is still the United States champion. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are still the tag team champions. AJ Lee wins what's now called the women's title from Charlotte.
Thank God.
Everyone starts to notice that the women are being presented better, and it's not going to be thrown in your face like when they talked about the Divas Revolution. It's just going to happen. And AJ Lee will this will be she will have gone into like an insane asylum because of the mental issues that she had from the relationship she had with Daniel Bryan, and she kind of comes out of that, and she's still a little bit crazy. One of the things that happens so that way this can happen in real life is she just randomly kisses CM Punk backstage, which will spark the relationship that happens in real life. So there you go. I found a way for it to happen.
Nice one.
They just don't get together. They just don't get together all that early. So
yeah, that's fair.
Then Sami Zayn wins the Internet title. Ted DiBiase Jr. calls out an open challenge. Sami Zayn accepts. He wins the title in a squash. And then Kevin Owens, who's debuted on the kickoff show, we basically have the NXT takeover or Evolution moment happen at WrestleMania instead. So there you go. I can spark a feud between them for the Internet title. Then we have the X Division champion. Chris Jericho finally dethrones AJ Styles for the X Division title.
That's interesting. Interesting. Okay.
I have that happen because basically like you can't just have like somebody like I don't know. Just some random guy do it. I think Chris Jericho doing it can still keep the title.
Yeah, it would keep the title relevant in the WWE landscape. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And then let's talk about the tag teams after WrestleMania. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were now the champions. Us, Primo and Epico, Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger, the Usos, Unico and Camacho, International Airstrike, the Dudley Boys, Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, Bad Influence, the Brotherhood, Kenny King, Shelton Benjamin, Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex, Vladimir Kozlov and Ezekiel Jackson, Pete Slater and Jinder Mahal, Yoshitatsu and Percy Watson, and Motor City. And they'll probably return shortly after WrestleMania.
Probably.
And they'll have a killer of a match with the Shield, which would be great.
Oh, for the tag team titles.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. Yeah. Main event, bro. Main event. All day fucking long main event.
And that's the end of part 3.
Before we
unless
go,
you want me...
you know what? Before we end part 3, how about we go through the pay-per-view schedule just to get it out of the way for the next episode?
All right.
So I'll read this part. The pay-per-view schedule in Owen's universe here from this point is WWE Extreme Rules 2014, which takes place on May 4th, 2014. I'm not going to say the theme songs. You could say that later if you want. Do we even need to read that?
Nah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I said no.
Okay, cool. WWE Payback. Payback. I can't speak. WWE Payback 2014, June 1st, 2014. I feel like that's going to be an us pay-per-view, isn't it? WWE King of the Ring, June 29th, 2014. WWE No Way Out 2014, July 20th, 2014. WWE SummerSlam 2014, August 24th, 2014. WWE Night of Champions 2014, which is September 21st. WWE No Mercy 2014, October 26th. WWE Survivor Series 2014, November 23rd, and WWE Armageddon, December 14th, 2014. There you go.
Yep.
That's
I got rid of Money in the Bank because I feel like it just belongs at WrestleMania. It shouldn't be its own pay-per-view. It's time to get away from that. So that might be an unpopular opinion, but you get King of the Ring out of it. So
King of the Ring's is a better alternative than a Money in the Bank style pay-per-view.
All right. So what did you think of the Part 3?
I would give this a solid A+. Not quite S rank, but it was very, very good. And towards the end of the Mania build, it did its job. I feel like, especially with the lines that we kind of came up with on the fly, it really kind of built the rivalry that we were having with the Shield, which got really, really personal and heated. It's really, really built the tag team division as a mainstay. It kind of helped every other division kind of step up from the looks of things and just made WWE a kind of a juggernaut in wrestling again that people actually give a shit about, which is the whole reason why we wanted to come into WWE in the first place in your idea of this storyline. So yeah, solid A+. That was great. Fantastic.
Yep.
Good job, my
and
guy.
now that the next part's it. That's gonna be the lat. Notice, by the way, who took the fall in this match, because you're not gonna forget about that.
That's gonna be you.
So I'm in trouble, buddy.
Yeah, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. You goddamn it! You should have took down that fucking vinegar. You goddamn piece of shit. I lost my tag team title. Fucking prick. That would be the dumbest promo ever. Scratch that. It won't make the cut. Scratch that.
I really wish we could. When you want to film part 4?
I can't film part 4 today. We'll figure it out when we're off air for once, because we always do this, and then they're like, "We get it. You guys are slow with this."
Yeah. Let's get off air. Yeah.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this For the Win Productions, these are the things you could do. Okay, subscribe to all of us. All of our shit is in the description, including Owen, all 3 of Owen's channels. Subscribe with the post notification bell on. Did you know that's YouTube law now? You got to do that. Second thing, make sure you hit that like button on this video and help the algorithm, because algorithms matter on the Ube of tubes. And leave a comment down below. I'm not doing live premiere anymore because fuck that. When it's out, and you can leave a comment in the live chat, or the comment section rather, below. And yeah, pretty much it.
Yep.
Talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Where's my goddamn tag team title?